All right, welcome America. We are live here on LWN Network. Excited for tonight. So we're going to talk about the bitch slapping that Donald J. Trump did to Zelenskyy today. We're going to try to play some news clip today about that and just talk about it. I got Tammy the Hammer Nation in the waiting room waiting to come on with us tonight. So we're going to play the intro. We're going to get to it. So hopefully if you guys can give us a 5x5 there in the chat on my mic. If you can let us know how the sound is on the intro, that would be very helpful. And hopefully you guys hear the sound tonight. We stayed late last night after the show working on sound. We worked on it again today. So hopefully everything comes through perfect tonight. If not, we'll continue work on it. So here's the intro. Enjoy, get jacked up, and we'll be ready to go right after this.
Going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. Gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down. Yeah, we the people are gonna burn this corruption to the ground. With fire starting now. Oh, gonna watch them run, gonna watch it burn, gonna watch it all come down, yeah.
All right, we're back. Hopefully you guys heard the intro. That's the song that was written for LWN. That is our own copyrighted song. War Machine is still working on putting the video together for that. That's an old video that we're using. So if you guys can give me a 5x5 on the intro in the chat, that would help us and the producers figure out how our sound is and making sure that it sounds good on your guys' end. I have Tammy, the Hammer Nation, with me. We'll go ahead and bring her in. Plus, I also sent out an email for special guests to see if they'll join us tonight, and they're talking to me right now. So we'll see if we can get Jeff B on with us tonight. I know he's there in the chat. So we're going to talk about the bitch slapping going on tonight, and I'm excited for that. So Tammy, I can't wait to play the video from today. I was sitting there before I went in the doctor's office watching that, and I couldn't help but just laugh my ass off because it was so funny to see Donald Trump unzip his pants, pull out that big old sack of his, lay it right on the table in front of Zelenskyy and say, you know what? Not here, pal. Your thoughts?
It was absolutely incredible. All the
incredible.
segments that came out were incredible.
And
You know, to see our president just say to Zelensky many of the things wanted to say to him was just so refreshing.
Absolutely. Sorry, I was texting, trying to get a link sent to people asking for it. But exactly right. Donald Trump was not playing today, and even JD Vance, I thought he was going to get up out of the chair, he was on a chain, and I really think that JD Vance was about ready to get up and walk across there and just duke it out with Zelenskyy. He wasn't playing either, man. This is a completely different administration compared to what the world has seen for the last 4 years, right? So in the last 4 years, we had ice cream hair sniffer who walked around stage shaking hands with people weren't even there, and on top of it, we had the cackling hyena, and then of course 4 years before Trump became president in 2016, 2017, we had an apologetic Obama for 8 years who apologized for being an American. So this is Trump 2.0. And this guy, he ain't fooling around. He ain't messing around. He brought his big guns, JD Vance, who's got his back 100%. You would have never saw Mike Pence ever stand up to Zelenskyy like we seen JD today.
Well, and JD was saying, you need to apologize to the American people. And he got called out on the billions and billions of dollars. And, Donald J. Trump came out and said, listen, we hold all the cards. If you don't have our backing and our support, you're basically sunk. So, Zelenskyy kind of was arrogant and cocky. And Trump did put out a statement about that. And about what happened today. And basically said, he does not want peace. I'm here for peace. I'm a peacemaker, and he can come back when he's ready for that. He said that we have an advantage when we are supporting Zelenskyy, and that is why he's so cocky and arrogant about it. We pull all our support back. Let's see what he does now. And if you looked, did you see what Jeff B put in the chat just now, Mike? I'll read it.
I saw it. And here's something else. Hold on just a second. I need to check with chat. Can you guys give me a 5x5 for Tammy's mic? I just got a text that said her mic was triple X echoing. Can you guys let us know, is Tammy's mic echoing, or does she sound really good? Because we're just trying to, again, work the bugs out here. We're doing it on the fly. We got 3 producers in the background working on this stuff. So if you guys can let us know how Tammy's mic is sounding tonight, how my mic is sounding tonight, we would greatly appreciate that feedback. Go ahead, Tammy. So what did Jeff B just put out?
So Jeff B says that it is breaking. Ukrainian MP Oleksandr Dubinsky just called for an emergency session of Ukraine's parliament to initiate impeachment proceedings against President Zelenskyy after the Oval Office shouting, because he did shout. He was having a fit. And it's like, bye-bye, bye-bye. I agree. So I think that's
Get out of here.
Incredible that they had the guts and to be able to do that to Zelenskyy, because he was putting out a thing the other day that said that he's very popular, that, because Trump was saying he has no backing, he's not a popular president, that he needs to go ahead and have another election, which he did not do because of the martial law he imparted. But now Zelenskyy a couple days ago said, I have plenty of support, and he went on and on about it. And here he goes. Yeah, this is support. All right, you're getting impeached, sir.
Here, let me say something. So we are live tonight. This is awesome. We did get a couple of bugs worked out over the last few days. So we are live tonight on Facebook. So if you're watching us on Facebook, welcome tonight to LWN Network. We are also live on YouTube tonight with our new YouTube channel, LWN Network on YouTube. So welcome tonight for all you guys over there on YouTube. We're also live on Rumble tonight. So for those of you who are joining us on Rumble, thank you so much. And welcome tonight. Please do us a huge favor. to help continue to get this channel to grow, hit that like button, smash it, break it, and subscribe if you have not subscribed to YouTube, Rumble, or Facebook. And more importantly, share this video out. Share us out tonight so other people can find us. At one time, we had close to 100,000 subscribers. We were top 5 podcast in news, growing on Podbean over a year, almost 2 years, going strong. So we've stepped back a little bit. We had some time to ourselves. We reflected. Decided on what direction we really wanted to take this channel. So there are thousands and tens of thousands of people out there constantly looking for LWN, which stands for Liberty Warrior Nation, and that's what we used to be, and we are now LWN Network. And so if you guys can do us a favor by sharing all these out on all this video out on all the platforms, it really helps a lot of people find us. So thank you for that, and I really appreciate it. Tammy, it's just so crazy to see the things. And we also want to talk about the FBI tonight. We also want to talk about Epstein's list. We want to bring people up to date on that as well tonight. So we're going to be talking about that. So stay tuned tonight. But everything is looking and sounding great tonight. The producers are doing an excellent job. Still got a ton of equipment that I have to set up and get ready to go. And we do have a special guest with us tonight. So please smash that like button, subscribe to this channel, and share us out, because tonight Jeff B is joining us tonight. So let's go ahead and bring Jeff B out. Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Why do I have a feeling before this meeting Zelenskyy was shown the goods?
Ooh.
Well, you tell us what you think, Jeff B.
Well, no body language expert, but boy, he sure looked pissed off even before he went into that meeting, and Marco Rubio didn't say anything.
Good point. And he stomped out of that White House into his awaiting car pretty like he was having a hissy fit as well. And Scavino showed a video of that, and Scavino goes, "See ya."
Yeah.
And then I was like,
and now they're going to start impeachment.
can you believe it?
Yeah, now they want to start.
That's crazy. So he is president because of his martial law. So how confident are you, Jeff, that they are going to just boot him out immediately after this whole episode with Trump? And I can't say enough about JD Vance. I mean, how cool is it to have a VP that actually has your back instead of the weak Mike Pence that we had for 4 years? JD Vance, I think if Trump would have said, JD, get up and take care of this shit, I think JD would have hopped up off the couch and beat the living shit out of Zelenskyy right there. What do you think, Jeff?
Yeah, I think he secured 2028 just by that little speech.
Yeah.
You know what?
Didn't he?
Yeah, and I've been sitting there watching some of these, channels that are nothing but UKR. They support, and they're melting down. Well, what do they think is going to happen when they find out all this money has been used to, buy mansions and automobiles? And I mean, he's not spending anything on clothing. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
Exactly. And what about all the millions that he claims he doesn't know where they're at that we gave him?
Yeah, well, I have a suspicion that Big Balls and Elon Musk may have showed him some paperwork.
You think? Yeah. And that makes sense, because he was not a happy camper at all. And no. I thought the way he represented himself in the country, and to insult us after the billions we gave him, and then to try to push Donald Trump around, and by saying, you need to support me. I'm not going to sign a deal unless you give me support or security and this and that. And, and then at one point, did you see Trump was like, you've talked enough. Stop talking. You've talked too much. And I'm like,
oh, yeah. You talk too much. Hey, I want to do a special shout out to a buddy of mine that I went to high school with over on Facebook, my buddy Jasper. He said that JD won the day, in my opinion. And I agree with Jeff B. He may have just secured the 2028 election, honestly, because you can tell just from that first interaction with Zelenskyy that he's not going to put up with anything either. Let me catch the audience up, because we do have some new viewers, a lot of new subscribers watching the show. I want to tell you, Jeff B. and I have been friends for damn near 4 years now, and Jeff B. Speaks multiple languages. So when we have him come on the show, and he speaks Russian. Well, you want to tell the audience what languages you speak, so that when we refer to Jeff, he's watching Ukraine or Russian television or the news, and he's saying, hey, this is what they're saying. It's because he speaks the languages. So, Jeff, you want to just let them know what languages you do speak?
Yeah, Russian, Chinese, Arabic, Korean, French, Hindi, and Pashto.
So say something in Russian for me. Say Zelensky's got a little wiener in Russian.
Здравствуйте, Zelenskyy Puntas.
Oh God, LW is going to be practicing that all day.
Здравствуйте.
I'll be.
Хорошо.
Can I get that on? Can I get that on a T-shirt?
Yes, спецоперація, да?
Oh my gosh.
Well, you remember Kirsten W., right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
When she was on what was it, Frog News Network, and somebody's like, you don't speak Chinese, whatever. So I went on there with him, and she's like, "Holy shit, you speak better Chinese than I do."
Yeah, I remember watching that show on Frog when she was on there, and you came in there and started speaking to her, and she was like, "Oh shit, this guy really does know what the hell he's talking about." It was funny.
Well, somebody in here, Ziggy, is saying that Trudeau did promise Zelenskyy some money. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I didn't hear. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, look.
Well, that's Canada.
Yeah,
that's our 51st state.
51st state, right?
Governor Trudeau.
It's amazing too to watch all these people melt down. Who basically support Trump. Well, this is what you voted for. He told you this was going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like the fact that, he come out and he goes, yeah, the whole Russia thing. Yeah, that was all BS.
Mm-hmm.
And, you had 2-3 FBI agents and some CIA agents arrested Wednesday. Yeah.
Well, did you hear part of the conversation today with Zelenskyy? He said, listen, I sent you javelins. He said Obama sent you sheets.
Yeah, bed sheets.
Bed sheets. He goes.
I thought he said sheep. I thought he said sheep like hey, here's some sheep, have some fun.
No, LW, no. Sheets. SHEETS.
Okay. Well, my hearing's not so good. I thought he was going bah.
I know. It was just amazing today to just see that, and I love that he did that. So anybody that is for this country and to stand up and for Trump to try to get trillions and stuff back into this country, yet they're going to complain at how he handled it. I just don't think they're American at all, because that is the heart of America. We've been bent over for so very long, especially with the last administration. We were a joke. Now, Zelenskyy, hasn't he been to the White House twice already? And Trump has only been in office for little over 8 days, over a month. So that shows that there is power there, there is respect there. And I don't see Zelenskyy getting off very well with not negotiating with Trump at all. I don't see it turning out very well for him. And Trump told him, you're going to be in deep trouble. It's not going to look pretty. He even said it's not going to look good, and it's not going to look pretty for you and your country.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I agree with Jasper. One of my favorite parts of JD today is he called his ass to the carpet. He said, you even showed up during it was either the midterms or the election of
Mhm.
2024, and
He
you
supported
showed up
Biden.
for the other side for Biden, and you were looking for favor from Biden. So JD Vance called his ass to the carpet.
And he also wanted to know why he didn't wear a suit. Or no, that was the reporter.
What the reporter said, what, don't you own a suit? What do you dress on? He goes, I answer serious questions. He goes, I just dress fine. And Trump was like, he's okay. I like what he's wearing. You know, Trump's trying to be all diplomatic and stuff. And it was just good. And then he just pushed him too hard, man. And you can see, I think that is the most intense I've seen Trump act in front of anybody, any world leader, anybody. You know, obviously his speeches and rallies he does, he gets going on. But this was intense. And I thought, when some reporter said you shouldn't be doing this here or something, people shouldn't see this, and Trump came out and said, no, I want the American people to see exactly what goes on and how things are done. She goes, I think it was good. And amen to that. I agree with that 100%. I'm glad I saw how Zelenskyy really is.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, and there's, tonight there's a lot of grifting going on these UKR channels. Boy, they're capitalizing on this like a champ.
Wow. Wow.
So they're looking at booting him to the curb, huh?
Yeah, I mean they're going to put it in front of their parliament. We'll see how popular.
So let me ask. Yeah, let me ask you this question, Jeff. Let's say that they do decide to get rid of Zelenskyy. Anywhere in the news right now in the Ukraine, are they talking about who might fill that position? Is there any speculation on who could step up to fulfill the role as president of Ukraine, or is it just pretty much in the dark right now?
Yeah, it's in the dark. I mean, this just come out, probably 15, 20 minutes ago that this parliamentarian put it in front of their parliament. Yeah,
Holy
yeah,
shit.
yeah. He called him Sulka.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and I've talked to somebody close to the Trump orbit, and I said, hey, after watching this meltdown in the Oval Office, I said, was he shown something? And he wouldn't confirm nor deny it, but his reaction was pretty much spot on that they probably showed him all the money laundering. I mean, the guy bought a house in Florida, a mansion, so that may become part of Treasury now.
I hope so, because it's ridiculous to see these
is.
people get all these houses on our dime.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be helping him and his people in his country. I mean, and for the parliament to do that, I mean, like I said, I think that is incredible. That shows that not everybody is as crazy as he is.
Right.
And, that they are standing up, and hopefully that follows through, because I can't imagine after the Ukrainian people themselves see exactly what went down today, I can't expect them to be happy about their leader, their president, doing what he did, especially they know we gave them billions and billions of dollars, and they probably feel so threatened right now and unprotected, and they can't be happy about that. That was a poor decision, an emotional decision on Zelensky's part. And even Trump came out and said, it is amazing what you find out when people are emotional and they're under such fire and pressure, because he really snapped is what he did.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, he'd have been further ahead. I mean, even, pulling a tear moment and basically saying, look, if you guys don't help us, my country's over. And I'm sure this emboldened Putin,
Oh yeah.
And I'm waiting for something to happen, whether they fire Oreshniks or fire up Kapustin Yar and start sending in cruise missiles.
Wow.
It's going to embolden Putin.
Well, and
here's the deal. Trump straight up, in my opinion, Trump almost sided with Putin and said that, listen, Putin has been through the bullshit with me.
Right.
The Russia, Adam Shifty, long neck Shifty Shift, the liar who should be definitely arrested for treason and prosecuted for that. So Trump, in my opinion, Trump went out and said, hey, listen, Putin Putin went through all the shit. He got blamed for a bunch of shit that was not his fault. And here's what I also heard him say. He told Zelensky, "You are dancing with World War III." What's your thoughts on that, Jeff B?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been, ever since a year or two ago, certain influencers, YouTubers have been putting out, "Oh, Russia has lost this war." Putin hasn't even started if he really wanted to, and I'm not. The only thing I have respect for Putin for is he actually cares about his country. That's a hell of a lot more than most our politicians can say, because they're selling our country out.
Yes.
And maybe this might be the triggering point for the American people to realize that they've been duped.
Well, I give Putin a lot of credit that he hasn't wiped Zelensky and them out already. Right. I think it took a lot of strength and actually honor for him to stay back so long like he has, and to be patient through the whole Biden administration. And right away, he's dealing with Trump. Remember, Trump had that phone call the same day with Putin, and then Zelensky. He said today, "I don't want an advantage. We have an advantage. I don't want that. I want to be the peacemaker. I want peace. I'm in the middle here. And that's where I want to be. I want both sides to have peace." And you're right. I think that just empowered Putin. And I wouldn't put it past him, because he's been waiting too long as it is, holding back, being smart.
Well, you just have to look back when they overthrew Yanukovych, and, whether Zelensky was a CIA plant that, we installed over there. The guy before he used to dress up in heels and dance.
Yes.
So, who knows? I feel bad for the Ukrainian people, but in the same aspect, we got to take care of home first. Once we take care of home, if there's any meat left on the stick, then we can give it out. But until then, I've been saying for years, America is going to have a real hard dose of reality coming. And we haven't seen nothing yet, because this part of this Epstein stuff, this is one of 25 from what I've been told. And
well, let's shift gears. Let's shift gears and go right to the Epstein list, because I know a lot of people are pissed. I know a lot of people are super disappointed in what has been actually released to the public. And I'm going to let Jeff go first, and then I'm going to go to Tammy. But we talked. Tammy and I did a show last night. I deleted the shows from last night, and Tammy helped me because the audio was so horrible. We didn't want that up on the page. But what we were talking about last night was the fact that a lot of this stuff that has been released to the public, we seen this clear back during the court case with Maxine, and so nothing new. And then you listen to Glenn Beck today, and he was talking about it, and he was talking about a civil war within our own government, that people are deliberately going against President Trump's executive orders, going against President Trump's agenda. And so he's worried about an inner fight in our government. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I just thought I'd bring that up. And then it's just really disappointing that we're not seeing names. We're not seeing a lot of things. So with that being said, Tammy had brought up that it's coming in stages. Now, a lot of people like to move the goalposts. A lot of people like to say a lot of shit, and it doesn't come true. So I'm going to let Jeff go first and try to set anything straight he can. And then Tammy, you bring the hammer right behind him. So go ahead, Jeff.
Well, so when it first came out with all the redactions, I called somebody that I know who had looked at the Hunter Biden laptop and told me that it was so bad he had to send it to special victims within DOJ. And I know we reported on that 2 or 3 years ago at least. And, he said this is 1 of 25. And it's going to be staged out because it's so bad. I mean, people, we talk this all the time, drip, 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 fire hose. We're not even at like stage 1 yet from this. And it's going to be But I think it was either today or yesterday, Pam Bondi gave Kash Patel, I think, 2 weeks to get everything out of the FBI vault and published. And because they're going through, I think they said there was 250 victim names that they wanted to basically make sure that they covered their bases where no one was going to be listed. But I mean, it's out there now. The American people they want to see it.
Mm-hmm. So what about Travis's comment here? How much can be released before any arrest, and too much information could cause mistrial? What's your thoughts on that, Jeff, before I go to Tammy?
Well, I don't know how the trials will be used. Is it going to be in federal court, or is it going to be in a military court? Because you have to go back and read Trump's executive order where sex trafficking and all that falls under the purview of the military. Mm-hmm. Because it's a national security issue, especially when it involves politicians. And, everybody was all up in arms about these pardons that Biden signed before he left.
I don't think they're any good. I don't think they're any good.
He pardoned for treason. Mm-hmm. Treasonous acts. And, I think you're watching the biggest RICO case known to man being unfolded, especially with Elon Musk and his group. Because
I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back to you on that, Jeff. Don't say any more. I want to come back to you on the RICO case because I want to go to Tammy, because Tammy broke news a couple days ago and started talking about. She broke actually. This was a week or so ago when she was talking about the lady who was going to Gitmo. But what Tammy told me, was it yesterday or day before, Tammy? You were talking about the defense secretary going and
Laura Ingraham.
Laura Ingraham. So can you talk on that, please?
Well, Pete Hegseth went and to Gitmo, and she followed him. Okay, she went and they reported, and they were just talking about. And Catherine Heritage did a series on it as well. And they're talking about, even though they're seeing a lot, there's plenty of Gitmo they're not seeing, but it has been built up, and the preparations there are supposedly for the illegals to house them and send them to trial or whatnot. But I think that it's pretty interesting that they're bringing all this attention to Gitmo at this time, which gives me hope something is going to go on. And as far as the stuff being released, Pam Bondi says that she was guaranteed and went over and over to make sure all the files were going to be released. That is why when she found out later that night that there were thousands more of these files held back, she released that letter to Kash Patel and said, listen, you have the 14 days, like Jeff said, exactly, to get this straightened out. But my concern is that the deep state obviously is still in there. And if you don't think that they're shredding papers and documents and erasing emails, because remember what happened with the Mueller team, they did the same thing, that kind of stuff. Hillary erased emails, the bleaching of stuff. The Mueller team, all of a sudden, the whole team were putting in wrong passwords in their phones, so it wiped out everything in their phone system, because you have to do that intentionally over and over, and all of them did that when that was going on. So they're going to try to do anything and everything they can to save their own skins or friends' skins or whoever it is. So my thing is, why don't Kash Patel and just Dan Bongino, when Dan Bongino gets there, Kash Patel's only been in like 6 days, why don't they just go in and raid the FBI, raid themselves? Because something isn't right. Something definitely isn't right. There was a big lack of transparency with these files. And we were told at the beginning it would be released in stages. However, Pam Bondi asked for all the files and did not get them. And that's where the problem is.
Okay, so let's go back to Jeff. Jeff, what about Gitmo? What about Pete going down there with Laura Ingraham? And then please dive into, I mean, we have a theory, right, about the former mayor of New York, Giuliani there. Can you talk a little bit on that? Maybe give a little bit of your perspective on maybe what's going on there, because it's funny that you say that a few days ago to me, and then on my news feed on Facebook or somewhere, it just so happened a picture of Trump and Giuliani standing together popped up on my feed. That just seems a little odd after you had talked about that with me personally on the phone.
Well, I can tell you, today's Friday. So Wednesday, I got a phone call from a very popular, I guess, YouTuber, you could call it. And he asked me, he got a phone call from somebody stating that they were from the White House. And it went to voicemail. And they asked him to call, this phone number. And so he called me and he goes, hey, can you, I don't know if this is a scam, what I'm getting into. Can you, if I give you a name, can you find out if this person actually works there or is in part of it? And they specifically ask him, there's going to be certain things that are going to be going to certain places and please not report on it. And I think everybody knows who, does all the plane information. And, he got spooked. And, so I made a couple phone calls and I said, yeah, it's legit, call them. Just see what they want. Because he got spooked.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so I think we're going to, Laura Ingraham, Catherine Heritage was down there. And why do you need media rooms for 9/11 terrorists? I mean, you build 5 new courthouses for a lot of influx. Now, granted, I'm guessing there's probably going to be some cartel people down there because, with the military going into Mexico to rid out these drug cartels. But what I think with Zelenskyy today is he was probably shown all the money laundering and all the kickbacks and all the money going to UKR and then coming back to some of our politicians. And I said in the very beginning when, Trump was fighting the re-election, why would you pick Rudy Giuliani? He has nothing to do with election law. He's a RICO attorney. Unless you're going to prosecute the biggest RICO case for money laundering and embezzlement, taxpayers' dollars. Because they tried to take everything from him too.
That's connecting the dang dots, Jeff.
I told you it was good.
Yeah,
nice.
I mean, he may not be lead counsel, but he knows a lot about RICO.
Yeah,
he knows how to beat them, right?
That's why we have to put the pieces together. Like you said, don't forget the things from the past because they become relevant now that Trump's back in. And it is incredible to me. I never even thought of that.
Right.
I wouldn't think of that. So taking it deeper is where we need to be. That's why we can't judge each other. We can't think we know everything. We have to go back and pull to the front and pay attention to what's going on now by pulling from the back and just piecing it together. Well, and what's weird is it's all fitting together. It's all fitting together.
Yeah. Here's something else that I want to bring to everybody's attention, and I want to go to ladies first with Tammy, and then I want to go to Jeff. But Sean from Facebook and the producer just pulled it up on screen. I've talked about this a few times, but I find it odd that one of the first things that Donald Trump does when he gets in office is he brings back the penalty of death for treason. And if you believe that a lot of this deep state stuff is treasonous, they've sold our country out. They've done so many things that, in my opinion, would hit the level of treason.
Right.
Don't you find it odd that one Gitmo is super busy right now, and then to top it all off, there is a penalty of death for treason? So I'm going to go to Tammy first, and then back to Jeff.
Yeah.
I think that it is something that has been well planned out, well laid out, something, the discoveries that he made, even maybe before he became president the first go around, but he's learned a lot as well. And I think when he said, I'm going to drain the swamp, he really meant it. And we had no idea how deep and how wide and from local level all the way up, how embedded for generations these people have been. And he's mean in business this time. He is not playing. He is very bold, yet he still has a sense of humor. He's calling all these people out. I mean, to sign an executive order that calls it the Jack Smith deranged executive order was amazing. And it was about the weaponization or, weaponization of the government to be used anymore. And he's right, because in the presser, somebody asked him a question about that. And he said, hey, don't tell me about that. I have been picked on, pointed to, thoroughly investigated more than anybody else. Don't think that I don't know what that is like. And I believe that he's had it laid out, and it's taken all this time, and the whole 2020 thing threw it for a loop, whatever it may be. And I think all that still hasn't gone away for good, but I do believe that will come out. But this is what the people want to see. They want accountability, and they want to hear things like this. They want him to hold people accountable, and they want it now. Even if you can't do it now, we have to see action that we know it's going to be soon, not years down the road.
Yeah, right. And here's another thing that people haven't either remembered or forgot about. In the first Trump administration, when Trump came out in his press conference and said there's over 100,000 sealed indictments.
Yeah, remember that?
An indictment can be a single person, or it could be a corporation. So
Yeah.
if all these indictments, where are they holding them at?
Yeah, that's a good point.
People want to know the dog's name, Jeff.
Doggy break.
Yeah.
Is that Zelensky?
No.
Is that Zelensky you got there?
No, this is a panda.
Oh,
Ha.
what a cutie.
Yeah.
Oh, happy puppy. Look at Dad calls her name and she's jumping up for kisses. How cute. Aw. Doggies are the best ever.
To the mods over there on YouTube, I think I handled the request that you guys were asking for. So anything else, go ahead and text me. Let me shift gears one more time before we get out of here tonight, because Tammy, there was something that you and I were talking about, and I'd like to get Jeff's input on it as well. We were talking about the new bill that passed the Senate, and it's going to Congress to be signed, and then later we're anticipating somewhere toward April, May to be put on President Donald J. Trump's desk to be signed into law. Now, a lot of people have reached out to me today, yesterday. We've been reporting on a lot of stuff. There's been lots of reports on Fox and America's Voice, RSVPN, and all the right-leaning newscast, right? And Glenn Beck, a lot of them. We've been putting out a lot of stuff about that this bill is going to cover no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips, and no tax on OT, now, which is overtime. Now, even Donald J. Trump's own press secretary has gone out numerous times and said that this stuff is happening. Now, I've had people reach out to me today. Of course, Glenn Beck put out today that he feels like there's a civil war going on inside our own government, that people are going against Trump, not going with his agenda, fighting him, doing things behind closed doors, stuff like that. Whether that's happening or not, I don't know. But the conversation that you and I had earlier today, Tammy, talking about this, and I want to get Jeff's input. I'm going to let you go first, Tammy.
Okay.
This is bigger. This is bigger than I think a lot of people think and know. And so it's not just something that we're going to create this bill and it's going to get signed, it's going to go into law, and everything's going to be, rainbows and unicorns. This bill is specifically made for spending, if I'm not mistaken. Now, there would have to be, and from what I understand, there would have to be a separate bill that had to do with labor laws. And so are they talking about it all in one encompassing great deal? Yes, I believe so. Is it going to happen before the end of May? I don't know. But I'm gonna go ahead and turn the mic over to Tammy to let her drop the hammer on the information she has, and then I want to go to Jeff B and see where he has a perspective on this and what he thinks is going on. Go ahead, Tammy.
Okay, so well, it is called the Big Beautiful Bill for a reason, because there are steps that are going to be taken that need to be taken in order for all of that to occur. So when you see no tax on tips, no and promises made, promises kept, that is him facilitating what he promised us. But this is just the initial spending bill to start. It's the pursuit of what Trump wants. But Congress needs to come up with the dollars and the cuts. They have to cut $2 trillion in spending, which to get this forward in the first place. And they need to find out where it's going to come from. And there's been rumors that this $2 trillion is going to cut into Medicaid and all that stuff. That is not true. Johnson said that there is nothing in the bill that we're going to take the cuts to get these other cuts in order to eliminate Medicaid or cut into Medicaid. So basically, it's a beginning. The $2 trillion in funds to cut, and that is how they're going to give us these no tax and all that. This is over a 10-year-long period. And what the Republicans now have to do is come up with policies to fall in line with those measures. How much are these tax cuts going to be? Where are we going to cut them from? What programs and stuff like that? So it leads to be $4.5 trillion in tax breaks, $2 trillion in spending cuts over the next 10 years. So the resolution that was put forth in this big, beautiful bill begins the cycle, but there's a lot that has to be done in order for it to become separate bills and a breakdown and all that. He's trying to get everything he wants done in one big, beautiful bill and then move forward and break it apart so it's not 10, 20 years down the line. And that's my understanding.
Okay. I think you got a great understanding of it, Tammy. And listen, Doge is a huge part of this, and I'm going to go to Jeff B because I want him to talk about this stuff. But you know, all the money that they're saving with Doge and all the stuff that they're cutting out. I mean, that's part of the spending part, right? We're not going to spend that kind of money anymore. We're done funding other countries. We're done funding USA ID and all this other stuff. And then as far as pulling the rest of it out, it's not going to be easy. Do I think it can be done? 100%. I think it can happen. Jeff B.
Well, I think just in the little bit of funding that Elon and Doge has found, he came out and said there's enough money that we've saved that we can send out every household $5,000. So, that's just in under a month. Wait till they start digging into all the Pentagon black budget operations, the CIA operations. One of my buddies had told me that they had gotten an email from OPM, the Office of Personnel Management, to where they had to respond on what they're due, what they completed that week. I personally think that's nothing more than there are people on the payroll of the federal government that don't actually exist. Mm-hmm. That people are getting paychecks that aren't there. And I think that's the whole purpose behind that.
Well, we got
a lot of.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got a lot of great. That's okay, Tammy. We got a lot of great comments going on right now with Sean and Trainwreck Travis. They are going to cut Medicaid and Medicare, but they're going to cut the waste of it.
Yes.
The stuff sent overseas, the dead people. So there will be some cuts within Medicaid, Medicare, but it's not going to be you guys. It's not going to be the people who are actually deserving of that, who
Right.
work their entire lives and work their asses off to earn the Medicaid, Medicare. It's all the people that are 300 years old. it's the people overseas
Right.
and around the world. So yeah, I trust what Tammy is putting out there is the right information.
Well, that's what we have to pay attention to, because that is true. But what the left is trying to do, or the rhinos, is put fear into people thinking it's going to come away from their money. It is not. It is exactly that. It's the waste. Like Jeff said, and you said, Doge is eliminating waste. So yeah, the waste is going to come out of all these different programs that they're finding, like USAID, which was a money laundering mess. And, that was a big one. But yeah, we, the people that are paying in and there to collect it, we don't have to worry about that. So I should have clarified that a little better. But thank you for doing that.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah. We're both drinking.
Guess
at the
what?
same
It's
time.
Friday. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. It's cold.
Friday
it's
night
cold
fights.
drink Friday. I got to work tomorrow. I got to get up even an hour earlier and get to work. I took today off to go run around and take care of some personal stuff. So I'm looking forward to having a short day tomorrow at work and then having a day off. And I'm so grateful that Jeff B. hopped up here with us, and Tammy, for you being part of this tonight as well. And to our producers in the background working on the sound and the videos and everything. Like it's starting to finally come together after tearing it all down. We burned this bitch to the ground and we're rebuilding it. So it's all looking and sounding good to me. Hopefully for everybody who is watching tonight over on Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube, hopefully the sound is good for you guys tonight. The video and of course the clip that we played of Trump and Zelenskyy and the intro. Just a wonderful night. We're going to go ahead and roll into final thought here. So I'm gonna let ladies go first, Tammy, the Hammer Nation, and then roll to Jeff B for final thought. But so many great people watching us tonight. So many. I also see chat over there on Rumble. So I got Rumble up, plus I got everything from Facebook and YouTube also. So I'm able to cover both chats, and we got some wonderful mods tonight. I want to say thank you to all the wonderful mods. They've been with us for a long time. We stepped back for a while, and they went and did other things. They've been helping out other channels. So great for that as well. But it's good to have a few of them back and to help us out. So, Tammy, your final thought for tonight.
Well, I'm going to say, everybody keep your heads together. Don't be so quick to judge, especially with this whole release of the Epstein files. Do you have a right to be angry and upset because you want answers and you want it justified with everybody and them pay the price? Absolutely. But you have to remember there's many different moving parts. And if we've learned anything over the last few years, we should learn that we don't know it all at one moment, and that we have to have grace with one another, listen to each other, have communication, and people will share things. And that is good. They don't shut down, because people are quick to judge. We've had it. We're moving forward, and I get that we want results right now, but there is processes to follow so we don't mess it up, and we can hold people accountable the legal way, the right way, and be done with it once and for all. And so this doesn't happen again. We, to me, are on the upswing, not the downslide, and we've reached the top of that mountain, and we're taking care of business, and I'm here for it, and I'm so happy about it that we made it this far. Sane, or somewhat sane at least.
We're on the other side, right, Tammy?
Yes, we are.
We were getting ready to start a new channel. We were going to call it The Other Side, and I'm very blessed that I've had good people in my corner this whole time, and we talked about it. We decided, you know what? No, we're going to continue LWN. We are on the other side of this thing, but there's still a lot of work yet to be done. So, Jeff B., what's your final thought for tonight?
100,000 sealed indictments.
Woo-hoo.
That's a lot. And here's the other thing. We can't point to one single thing that Trump has said that he's been proven to lie about. He said we caught them all. Who knows what that was about? Everybody thought it was about the election. I think there's a heck of a lot more to this, and the fire hose hasn't even started yet.
Okay, before I get to my final thought, I'm going to straight up ask you, Jeff B. So you said there's a lot more, and I just said there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of things that we got to cover. We can't even cover it all in one show, let alone a show every night, 7 days a week. So Jeff B., are you going to be here to help people through understanding what's going on and trying to figure out where do we fit into all this stuff? Are you going to be part of LWN and just be here and just bring the fire each and every time? Because that garden hose, the information that's going to come out is going to take all of us to really try to help put it all together.
Yeah, I even think the naysayers and disbelievers, they're going to need it more than us, because at least we have some concept, of what's to come. But I've said this from the onset when you started this channel, I don't think I'm ready for what's going to happen. Ooh. Because there's 2 years ago when I was told the FBI's closed, and here, now it's coming to the public. So what happened 2-3 years ago that they aren't releasing? I do know a little bit, but we'll let that play out.
Absolutely. Here's my final thought, and thank you so much, Jeff, for joining us tonight. I know it was kind of spontaneous, and Tammy's always ready to go, so I'm glad that she could make it tonight after dinner as well, too. I'm going to tell people, be patient. My final thought is be patient. There's so much going on. It's really hard to digest. It's really hard to understand every bit of it, but Tammy dives deep in the information. Jeff B. has got a great perspective. He's got people on the inside for him that can help us figure things out and give Jeff little breadcrumbs to be able to share with us. So if you guys like that, please join us here at LWN. Hit that like button there on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. Subscribe to us. Our subscriptions keep climbing here on Facebook. We're getting close to 15,000. So if you can help us break that 15,000 by subscribing, if you haven't done it yet, share us out on Facebook so other people can find us. Rumble is growing as well. Numbers are climbing on Rumble. And of course, we just restarted our YouTube channel. I don't even think we're quite to 100 yet. I had 20,000 before YouTube took me down, shadow banned me, blocked me, censored me, and canceled me. So we need to get back to 20,000 on YouTube. So that's my final thought tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And as always, we will catch you on the next one as we come out with the intro as our final song for the night. Thank you, sir.
You can see it in the sky. No use running, if you do, you won't survive. People are sick and people are tired, but inside of me rages a fire. We the people are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting now. are going to burn this corruption to the ground. Yeah, we the people will fight fire with fire starting.